So I was shaving in the bathroom today, something I only have to do about once a month because my facial hair has dwarfism, and I was thinking more about that Gillette ad while ruminating on my complicity in sexual assault, bullying, and telling random girls to smile on behalf of my gender. I was browsing Twitter, which is filled with dismissive takes on this situation, and I stumbled upon one that made me pause for a second. It was a woman who tweeted, "As a woman, I can't imagine how it would feel to see an ad that tells me I could improve." Obviously a sarcastic tweet. And I had to think about that for a second, because the commercial industry is certainly full of products that market in a way where buying them is stated to improve women. Makeup, shampoo, Victoria's Secret, all this stuff definitely does purport to create a better woman out of the one who buys all that shit. They're told they need makeup to attract guys, the right clothes, and if you've got a single split end, you know he's walking right out that door, ladies. But it's not as if guys don't have our own versions of this. Hygiene products tell us we'll be alone forever if we don't smell like Axe. Regular shaving commercials that don't feature dads cheering on toddler fight clubs tell us we need that perfect shaved face to be kissable. Even Red Bull commercials depict losers who were losers until they drink Red Bull and fly off into the sky with a broad on each shoulder. Broad is the right word, don't be offended by it. Any woman who appears out of thin air to suck dick per a Red Bull fetish deserves lesser terminology. At least Red Bull commercials' absurdism is obvious. But Gillette is not akin to a makeup commercial making you feel ugly. If you want a true comparison, imagine that makeup commercial saying nothing about your face and telling you it's your entire gender's behavior that needs work. Imagine that makeup commercial showing news clips of false rape allegations and courtroom scenarios of female teachers who fucked their students, all underneath a message saying some women act the right way, but some isn't enough. I had to rewatch the ad to get that quote, and wow, they really talk about men needing to act the right way. How sanctimonious can you get? Also, that video has almost 900,000 dislikes, which is double the amount of likes. I think this ad gon' backfire. So much for a quick sales boost. Dude, how many girls in school are the absolute meanest catty bitches you've ever seen, constantly gossiping and spreading rumors behind people's backs and cyberbullying the weird girl into suicide? We're gonna pretend bullying is a male problem? If that makeup commercial about toxic femininity really did happen, you know there'd be a firestorm for days and it would implant itself in the subconscious of women everywhere for years, if they thought that's how society really saw them, just gendered trouble personified. Individuality be damned on account of belonging to a tainted group. Things like this are a big deal, or at least they're not nothing. They might not seem like it, it's one ad from one company, but it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's formed from pre-existing matter, notions that have been around and drawn from in the societal sphere and are becoming ever more prevalent. Today it's Gillette. What form will it take tomorrow? It's important to push back against examples of small public opinion with potentially harmful consequences, lest they become big public opinions. Even if you're resistant is just a small joke at its expense, levity is an effective tool at halting momentum of bad ideas. Highlighting ridiculousness casts a large shadow on seriousness. Ads are manipulative by nature. There is always a subversive goal they don't want you to think about when you watch them. Any product wants to highlight what they can do for you while downplaying what you'll be doing to their financial success by partaking in it. Ads with a humanitarian message are even more suspect, where the product itself is lost in the recitation of crowdsourced, focus-tested platitudes designed to incur good faith with consumers, enough so they'll support you even beyond the usefulness of what you're selling to them. Think of all the people who went out and bought Nike shoes they didn't even wear during the Kaepernick campaign, or only wore in certain public places as a symbol of solidarity. All the people who are now buying Gillette razors because they said something they agree with when they already have a perfectly good razor at home. When did companies become sports teams and their products become jerseys? When did buying goods and services become a political statement? And when did supporting multi-billion-dollar corporations become the noble, humanitarian, activist thing to do? It's all backwards now. We used to want to bring down mega companies as symbols of inequality and excess. In fact, we still do, unless that mega company pretends to take a stand for something we see as just, then they're one of the good guys, and they can keep their billions in offshore accounts tax-free without a batted eye from us because they're on our side. Which can only prove there's not a shred of consistent moral decency to go around, when our loyalty can quite literally be bought, except we're the ones paying them for it. We pay them to be loyal to them. because now the main service they provide is a supposed clear conscience, a pat on the shoulder that we're doing the right thing, affirmation that our paid-for consumer morals are great. Holy shit, dude, this is the collective dupe of the century. I'm still struggling to entertain the idea that a company can have values. They fucking don't. They pretend to. I think that's obvious at this point. That doesn't mean they're all soul-sucking entities driven by insane greed that exploit their workers and get giant CEO bonuses and all that. Lots of them don't have the ability to get away with that. It's no coincidence that all the companies who do the scummy stuff are huge titans of the industry. If you're gonna engage in shady shit, your profit margins have to justify it. Imagine a small business doing a half of what mega corporations do. They'd be bankrupt in a second. But how do your so-called company values reflect on your business decisions? Gillette's over here telling men how to be men when Gillette's own men decided to price fix and massively mark up manufacturing costs. That seems pretty toxic to me. But a female CEO or board of directors could have made the same decision, which is the overall point. I don't want to hear Gillette condescend to us about bad behavior in any capacity, but to specifically put men under the microscope is targeted garbage. Everyone has to be better, or no one does. So, 2 episodes on 1 advertisement. You must be pretty triggered, Albino. That's a common response now, too. If you're attempting to engage in any kind of meaningful discussion about an event, it must have triggered you, and you shouldn't talk about things I deem unimportant because I said so. Don't plant your flag on this one, Albino. I have infinite flags. I have no shortage of flags or places to plant them. Literally wherever my brain takes me is a place to plant a flag. How many flags do you have? You should get more. It's better with more flags. I dedicate multiple episodes to topics that are multifaceted, and as my reasoning evolves, as time goes by, I have to update my takes. God knows there have been like 6 episodes on Me Too and Hollywood and all that. Set it and forget it is a terrible policy for philosophy or politics or discussions of any kind. Revisit that shit on the reg, bro. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @SunburnedAlbino, and I'll see you guys next time.